All right, so we seem to have, sorry about the clanking around. I had to move some things around. So I think we managed to figure this out. Now, it's not necessarily the most ideal situation, but here we go. So I could probably go ahead and explain a little bit more about ZCAM streaming and getting this set up. So I did I streamed just a couple of minutes ago. Didn't go quite well because I didn't quite understand what I needed to do with the ZCAM in order to get it to work. So with that being said, I now have my ZCAM connected to, let's go ahead and push this over like here. Got my monitor sort of blocking stuff. So I got my ZCAM set up and sort of pointed at me. I have it connected to this Ethernet cable. My monitor is flopping around on it because I don't have it tightened down. But so with that being said, I should be able to get this to stream in. Now I've already tested this out, so I know it's actually working. But so go ahead and shift this back over to me, to where I had it. There we go. So one of the things that I was working on was, so I did go down to the, let's go ahead and open up the, here. My window capture is not pulling it up. So I did go ahead and download the ZCAM. I had to go look at this tutorial a little bit just to make sure that I'm doing it right. But I went ahead and I went to the ZCAM site. I went to support and I just went generally to support. Software update maybe? Yeah, so I went to software update. I installed the ZCAM converter software. I'm using the 6.6 version. Now, when I looked at the tutorials, a lot of the information that I saw was for the Mac. All the displays are for Mac, so it's a little bit different, and it's all on the 6.2 version instead of the 6.6 version. So in looking at it, let's go ahead and bring up the Stream Convert software here. It's a little bit different. So one of the things that I needed to do was go ahead and click Add Camera. So I added the camera. I put in the IP address that defaults for the ZCAM, and that's at 10.98.32.1. Now I am directly connected to the ZCAM via Ethernet, so that made it just a little bit more, a little bit easier. And when you do connect it, you're given these options. Now, let me go ahead and I will disable the streaming. It's not really the most intuitive look and feel on here, but it's working for what I need. But I changed my video system. It was on Cinema. I changed it over to NTSC. I don't know if that makes any difference. I know the flicker rate resolution is going to be set and so forth. Everything else here is sort of turned off. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go back over here and just basically stretch this to the whole, fit it to the screen so we could actually see what we're doing. So, and then since I am doing a 1080p stream, I went ahead and set that to 1080p. It did have it at 4K, which I don't need a 4K stream for this. I upped the bit rate from 5 megabit to 10 megabit. The streaming, I tried to set it to 24 and now it's working. It wasn't working before, so, and then in the 1080p, I'm only given the access to H.264. Previously, it gave me access to H.265, but yeah, I don't know why it was also not letting me do that. I do have anamorphic lenses on, so I do have the D-squeeze to 1.33. I am using the Sirui Anamorphics on this, so when you do see it come across, you'll see it at 133. And then the transfer output, I installed the NDI plugin for OBS and for Streamlabs, and that was not working. It wasn't finding the the stream. So what I ended up doing was I just turned it to virtual camera, which works good. It treats it as a webcam. So I'm going to go ahead and just go back over to OBS. So let's go ahead and let's look at Streamlabs for a second. And we'll go ahead and shut off Stream Convert. So here's my OBS. As you see, it's got window, inside window, inside window, inside window. But what I ended up doing was I added a source. I just added a video capture device. And I added the ZCAM virtual camera. Now, it's not enabled right now. So let's go ahead and I'll add that in there. When I look at the settings, you probably can't see the settings, so let me go ahead and add the setting window. We'll go ahead and add a window capture, add a new source, OBS settings, and we'll go ahead and go settings for that. Okay, so it came up just a minute ago. There we go. Done. And it disappears again. What a pain in the butt. Automatic. So it keeps disappearing on me. So added the settings. Oh, well, this is going to be where it comes in, which it doesn't quite show it. And so next, let's just go ahead and go here. Done. So if I open this back up again, still not doing it. Okay. I selected the Z Camera 1. There's 8 of them in there. I don't know if that makes much of a difference. Let me go ahead and pop my camera to the top. I should probably lock it to the top. And so I added Z Camera 1. I did defaults on everything. And I don't think I have an audio capture on it right now, but we'll see. So then with that being done, what I need to do now is go back to the stream converter, and let's go ahead and I'm going to open this up and just, oops, what I want to do is I want to have it transform, fit to screen. So if I go back to my stream converter, let's go ahead and hide this, and I'm going to hide OBS. And of course now stream convert doesn't want to show up. Why stream converter doesn't want to show up is beyond me. Anything that involves sharing my thing. There we go. So now I have the 133. I did go back into the image here. I did add in a Rec 709 LUT just because I'm filming in Z-Log and it looks very, flat and blah, obviously not really set for a stream. And I managed to set everything else. Shutter angle is the same. ISO is 800, meter in center. I do have a manual focus lens on there, so I'll have to be playing with that. So in order to get it to work, once you have all these things set, you just have to click on here and it will set it up so it starts working with the software. So now if I look at my ZCAM and I enable it, there we go. There it is. So this is from my Anamorphic Sirui Lens. So, and let me go ahead and just jump off here and clear this out. So that's basically what it is. So now I've got an anamorphic lens. I'm going through my ZCAM. It looks fairly good. I could probably change it so I'm sort of shaped or go ahead and framed a little bit better. It's just sitting there on my piano, and you know, I don't have anything else going on. I might be falling out of focus a little bit. Open up the aperture just a touch, which means I need more light. I have a window right in front of me, which is giving me some light. I have a top light here, but with it being ISO 800, I'm not getting too much on that. Now, I can't go into the image. I guess I can bump up the ISO here, but it's still not giving me much to play with. So, but otherwise, I mean, it's pretty good. Let me go ahead and just open up that aperture up again. So, that's pretty cool. So, now, honestly, with this, it would work a heck of a lot better if I had autofocus on, and I was doing that, but we look at the, go ahead and add in my other image, my other camera. So we'll go ahead and just put this down over here and make it a little smaller. This is, I mean, the latency is not too bad. This is obviously going to always be in autofocus. This one is manual focus, so I gotta sort of stay still. But I mean, it adds to a pretty cool look. Now, the other Sirui lens that I was using before has my black pro mist on it, so it would be a little bit more, you know, bloomy and a little bit more dreamy. This is just straight through a UV filter, so it's not going to be the same. I probably should throw the pro mist on there, but I think this is actually a pretty cool little setup. Now, one of the things I'm wondering is, I know the camera, the ZCAM, is able to get power through Ethernet, but I don't know if my laptop is delivering power to the camera or not. I don't think it is, and so that's what I could do is go ahead and turn on my monitor and get some of the stats out. I mean, this is really cool. I mean, the fact that I have two cameras working simultaneously, and this says my power. Go ahead and just kick this over just a little bit, so you can see what I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at here. I'm just checking the stuff and make sure I'm in focus. So got my focus peaking on right there. So it's says I have a 7.3 volt input. It's not giving me a battery monitor, so maybe it is getting it all from the Ethernet. That is pretty cool. I am filming in 30 frames per second right now. I wanted it to be in 24. I guess I just have to change that. My shutter angle is still 50 or 180 degrees. Yeah. And my color temperature is at 3500 Kelvin. Which isn't probably right for this setup, but no, doesn't look too bad on my OBS. And on the screen here, it doesn't look that bad. So, all right, well, that's pretty cool. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be, simply because it's, well, I did have problems in the beginning. But once I figured out I needed to add the camera to the software, it was a little bit easier. So as I lurch into the frame, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think ZCAM's got, excuse me, I'm having problems with my throat this morning, and it's not COVID. It's not COVID. It's not COVID. It's because I'm froggy and I haven't had enough coffee yet, because coffee's important. So I'm pretty happy with this. This is great. And it was fairly easy once I figured out just to go ahead and do that. Now I'm probably getting a lot of background noise. My computer is like a spaceship right now, taking off. It's a little aggravating that it's so loud, but yeah, and the 24 millimeter is working a lot better than this 50 millimeter. 50 millimeter is like just too tight. So, but I would like to get the Pro Mist on it to see what that looks like. I think for a streaming setup, this is pretty good. Now, I don't really have a place to, as you see, it's just sitting here on top of my piano. It doesn't really, it's not really ideal. I would probably need to get another, I have a iFootage like mini one. I could probably get another one of those or just mount it in another way. But yeah, it's good times. Hopefully my audio is better now too. Since I go ahead and fix that. Since I hooked up the Elgato, so as you see right here, I guess you can't really see it that well. Into away from the logo, but got the Elgato Wave 1. It works really good for. I use this for work primarily, and so I normally have it on a jib arm or a extendable mic arm and just pull it in and out. It's got headphone jack, so I can monitor and not disturb my whole family. But yeah, well, that's pretty nifty. I'm actually enjoying this setup quite a bit, and hopefully this content is enjoyable. So again, you know, taking a look at what we did here. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my camera here. So and see what else is enabled. So here's Stream Convert. This is what we used for putting it on. It was after you do the add camera, you put in the IP address and you get that going. It's fairly easy to do that. Now, this being said, I should be able to set up multiple cameras and be able to do this across all of those. I wonder if hooking up a hub or a switch and then hooking that into my computer would enable me to be able to do multiple cameras and switch between them. But for right now, this works well, and I'm running my RP in this. So I'm doing switching here now. Again, I could probably take the feed from the camera and do a A10 Mini, but this is a much cheaper option simply because of that. So focus. Now that would be interesting if I hooked up one of my Panasonic lenses with autofocus and turned on autofocus and see if the continual autofocus would work. It's not the greatest, but yeah. So I could probably set up some profiles for it. And auto white balance is turned on. Shutter is 180. I did kick up the ISO, but it's not showing, it didn't actually take effect. So maybe I'd have to take it out and put it back in. And I got this 709 LUT on here. So this is the 709 LUT from ZCAM. I'm just using the default one. And then, you know, using that, and then, you know, having I'm using Streamlabs, so just setting it up as a virtual camera. Worked great. It worked really well. So, doesn't quite like fitting it all the way to the screen, but there we go. Put it up this side. I just don't like seeing me in the background. So yeah, that was good. So there's my camera for the RP, and then I turn on this one, and there I am here. But I think actually just transitioning over to the Anamorphic camera is much better, an easier thing. I got my monitor up here. It's working off a battery, but I've got another monitor over here that I'm running for my other camera. Let's go ahead and just move this back to there. So anyhow, all right, well, that's that, and looks good. So I will catch you guys all next Sunday.